Welcome back to the channel, everyone, and today we'll be reacting to another Let's Game It Out video. This one is called I Use Drones to Make a Nightmare Factory Even Worse. Now, from what I understand is everyone in the comment section has told me this is the one I should have started with, even though it's like number 10 out of 11, but this is the one where he adds all the pipes and things, and it's a literal nightmare. Everything he's done is a literal nightmare, and it's been fantastic. So I figure going in order is probably the best way to do this. And then I will check out the raft one, but we got one more after this one. And then I guess he's behind on the last few updates. So, which is unfortunate, but he's playing a lot of other games. Like we just recently watched the supermarket one, which was amazing. All right, let's get into it.
Welcome back to Let's Game It Out. Oh boy, let's play some Satisfactory today. We love this game around here, where there are endless ways to shatter your bones. Oh, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's catch you up on what's happened so far. First, we built a wonderful, normal, working factory for like a second. Then it turned into this, then into this, and then this, and also some of this. Eventually, we reach nuclear power. It produces a lot of energy, but more than that, it produces beautiful, toxic byproducts. So much so that it hurt to exist here, and we had to flee. So after that, we slid our way over to oranger pastures, and this time we did it right. We erased all of this nature, we put down a beautiful working factory, and we can't forget about hypertubes, which is good for normal transportation.
Okay, that was funny. I like how he just kind of left. Well, actually, maybe he didn't leave it there. Maybe he's doing a voiceover. He probably did
Or linking them together and going so fast, you leave this dimension. Or if you split the difference, you can create a machine where we can aim this cannon back at our old base and see if we can reclaim that irradiated nightmare. And that's what brings us to here. So we have a couple of pressing concerns. Each and every one of those barrels that's actively hurting me while I talk. That's okay, though. I've got my handy-dandy inhaler here, so whenever my health is getting me down...
Yeah, but you need a lot of inhalers.
Anyway, let me give you the grand tour before we get started. Here we have sumptuous radiation issues, followed by even more radiation issues, and we're gonna have to figure this out fast, because I don't know what happened, but this place is definitely cursed now. And even more Oh, it looks like things have kind of come to a standstill.
Interesting.
I guess it makes sense, though.
After all, it was all radiation
the land
originally.
of nuclear power plants. There's been a couple of changes since we were last here. See, the last time we were in this base was before they added fluid to
Okay, yeah, now they have to fix everything with water.
Game.
That's gonna be crazy with the amount of stuff he has.
Retrofitted and requires not just these, which are uranium fuel rods, but it also requires that we have water to cool the whole thing down, which obviously we don't have, based on this giant gaping hole, which means that we've got all of these plants and none of them are working right now, which honestly is probably both good and bad. Good because no working means no nuclear wasting. The bad is these being offline means we don't have any power coming to our base. Don't worry though, we're gonna get this all back online. And the first step is going to be getting all this radiation out of here. First things first, we're going to need some items. Good thing we've got materials everywhere. Not to mention stockpiles of the best stuff. A whole container full of things that blow up. And me with a detonator. And you know what that means.
Can't wait till we see the nuclear ones with him. No.
Well, it was worth a shot. Good to know where these things are anyway.
Those
so
are
step
useful,
one is we gotta flush out all of these barrels, or else I don't think reality is ever coming back together again. So we're gonna go all the way over here to the outskirts of this madness. I see you flying up there, don't judge me. And basically we need to figure out how to get all these barrels out from our base. Let's just use this convenient thing called a splitter, and then we'll build out a conveyor belt from there, and we'll just keep.
I mean, you can't just like shove it off an edge, and they don't despawn. So are you just gonna stick it on one little corner and just destroyed that section?
Running this, and we'll just take it all the way to the edge here. I'm not really sure what the plan is, seeing as how there's nothing down here. But hey, at least it's getting all this waste away from the rest of my factories. And at the end of all this, we'll go ahead and put a nice big storage container. There you go, fellas. Welcome to your temporary new home. So while we wait for all of this stuff to finish filtering out of here, let's get some other vital stuff done. As mentioned, for the time being, none of these are working. You know, I know where there is working power though, and it's just one quick slide away. Ah, home sweet.
Yeah, that is not a quick slide away. That's like half an hour of running.
Second home. I missed you, security blanket of pipes and conveyor belts and materials. Anyway, we're not here for sightseeing. No, we're here for that power. That dirty, environmentally unfriendly coal power.
Okay, so he obviously put in some liquid in in advance, otherwise this wouldn't have made any
Let's
sense.
just go ahead and connect one of these power lines, and let's go ahead and build all the way back. Starting from there, this is us, all the way back to our other base. Super easy to just run these forever. Don't worry, this isn't going to take any time at all. And we always know when we're getting closer to home because the frame rate takes a dive and everything hurts. Although, now that I'm in the main part of the factory, I think all the radiation's been filtered out, and I'm not taking damage anymore. I'm so happy it's time to use my inhaler again. Anyway, where were we? Oh, hello. What the hell are you? Pet the lizard doggo.
Have you ever seen them? You've been playing this game for how long?
Don't mind if I do.
Oh.
Okay, well, great talk. Looks like the barrels are still coming, which shows that the
give those
process is
guys,
working
like,
all the
items.
way to barrel heaven. And we know that for
So technically, you can give those guys items, but technically, you're supposed to make them happy so they give you an item, but you can actually put items on them.
sure, because look at
Only
our
one
glorious
slot, though,
radiation
so
levels. Quite the
not very
radioactive vessel. And as we get closer, I'm really hurting. Now, in theory, this should be enough, because the farther away we get, the lower the radiation goes. And if we're far enough away, the radiation goes away entirely. But I don't want to lose this entire area to that. Isn't there a way we can get rid of this stuff permanently? Most other items in the game you can just throw in the little trash can here. Oh, but not these.
Did they I thought they had the ability to technically recycle these, but maybe it wasn't added into the game yet. Maybe that's in like update 6 or 7.
Barrels. It doesn't want you to do that. All right, let's leave this for a second and come over
if
here.
You could just delete
let's
it,
test
that'd be
some stuff
totally
on an
different.
area that doesn't have radiation. Okay, so getting rid of stuff. We can't just grab an item, drag it out of our inventory, because then it goes straight here on the ground. And sure, we can throw these things, but no other items can we throw like that. So I wonder if there is any way we can. Oh, what the hell did that? You knocked me off? Oh, I bet you guys think you're so clever, don't you, huh? Oh.
Okay, I actually didn't know you could have them run off the edge behind you.
Well,
That's
we learned something
funny.
new just now. Those guys can throw themselves off. So the question is, can we somehow attach the radiation to these fellas?
You
and then
can't
just
attach
lead them
anything to
off a
those
cliff.
guys.
Okay, hold on. I got an idea.
Oh.
Let's build out a...
He could, however, take stacks and throw them on lizard doggos, but the stacks are not that big, at least with the amount of radiation he has, so I don't know if that would be very useful.
And then let's add some walls. Okay. Hey, come back here. I have need of you. Come on, come on. Okay, better. Stay right there.
You won't be
I'm
able to
just gonna
attach
put
it.
something
It's
on
gonna
top
just,
of
like,
you.
stick it.
Easy. Well, technically it's on top of him, but I don't think it's part of him.
No.
Nope, definitely not. So I think it's safe to assume that there's no way to actually attach this to these creatures. Well, thanks for trying. So for my next idea, we're gonna need one of these. A paleberry. So do you remember that lizard
You need thousands of those stupid things to get those things to follow you.
doggo that we saw?
Okay, maybe that's not true. You need like maybe 5 to 10, but that's for each doggo, and you can have a lot of doggos, which he's gonna need a lot if he wants to
As you
stack
can see,
them.
he's a little bit timid if we get too close. But if we take these here pale berries, go ahead and just put them on the ground. Little doggo friend loves them, and now he trusts us. Aww. And now we have the message
was like
to see
5
if
or
Lizard
10.
Doggo
Maybe
found
is it
anything.
2?
Basically, now he has an inventory, and occasionally he'll find stuff and bring it to us. But we can also put things in that slot. And now it's just carrying it around while it follows us. So of course, I think we have another question. Can this little guy carry a stack of barrels?
Yes.
Only one way to find out. Come on, little guy. Okay, where
you're
were
gonna shove
we?
him
You
off the
ready
edge?
for a journey? Oh, hey, he found me some flower petals. That's so sweet. I love you too. I'll take those. And here, you have these 258 barrels of toxic waste. And Lizard Doggo seems unaffected by the tremendous amount of radiation. Well, you know what happens next, right? Now, let's see. How am I gonna get you to want to be down there? What if we
Jump pad.
build some platforms all the way out here? Come on, come on, come on,
You can do it.
come on.
He's just gonna delete the platform and let him drop, isn't
Who's
he?
a good boy? Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? You're a good boy. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, mission successful.
Oh,
Oh, let's
you
do it again.
psychopath.
Hey there, little guy. I've got something for you.
Okay. Oh, jeez. The problem is, these things are not that easy to find. They're all over the place.
God, that took forever. But at least we got them. Make yourselves
I didn't even know
at
you
home
could
in
have
the
more than
waiting
one at
room.
any
Here,
one
I'll even
time.
give you a window to look through. All right, so here's the thing. I've been doing some thinking, and I don't know if I can bear to watch them fall down onto the cliffs below. I mean, after all, look at these little guys. Look
you're
at those
gonna
little
launch them, aren't you?
faces. They deserve better than that. That's why
I would launch
instead
them.
we're going to use something else. Jump pads.
I
Let's
knew it.
see.
That's
Let's
what I
just
would do.
Go
Oh, hey,
ahead and excellent.
Okay, so did they always have the blue arc? I swear that was not in the earlier versions.
All right, I guess we need to test if it works.
Yep.
That'll about do it. All right, come on, little guy. Let's get you all suited up.
You should be able to knock him off.
Okay. You know what to do.
Yep.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and say that was a rousing success. And before you know it, our nuclear waste problems are solved. Okay, come on out, fellas. You look all ready for prime time. Let's not just wander them over here. Instead, let's aim a bounce pad back this direction, build a couple layers up, and we'll put the other bouncy thingy at the top here. Okay. There you go. Oh, you guys spread each other out.
At least one made it.
That one made it. Oh, God. And for this one, let's see if we can get nothing but net.
Okay. Oh. That's an interesting way to do a basketball hoop. These are all walls, obviously. These are hyper tubes all linked together with pipes.
Oh, close.
Wait. No. Is that right? I guess he merged a pipe with... yeah, these are hyper tubes. I didn't know. Okay, so he didn't merge it. What he did is he's making it like go through it. So he's like fake merging it. Okay.
Enough. Who knew that getting rid of radioactive waste would be so much fun? Okay, we only have a couple more to go here. Have fun, guys. That's a victory, looks like. One last straggler, huh? You might want to avert your eyes for this. Well, looks like that took care of the radiation. Time to deal with the next mess. Getting all this back online. We do still have to deal with radiation, of course, because to power...
Okay, so he knows how to use... Well, he obviously knows how to use water pipes at this point because he got the coal up and running in the beginning. So it's not like he's doing this brand new from scratch and just learning it. So he already played around with
these plants. We use these uranium fuel rods, but it shouldn't be too hard to deal with. All we need to do is focus on the water part. And don't worry, I haven't forgotten that this one needs water too. First things first is we need to locate a water source. And you know, I think I know just the place. Oh yeah, and this reactor over here too. Okay, so all we really need to do is find some nice deep water. You know, this water doesn't appear to be terribly deep. Maybe it'll work anyway. Let's see. Time for some water extraction. Yep. Looks like it's gonna be just fine. Okay, and now all we need to do is run some pipes. Hey, I'm sure this will be just fine, right? Pretty sure water doesn't naturally want to go uphill like that. But what do I care what water wants? I just care that it connects. Okay, and with that all connected, the entire...
Well, it'll connect, but I don't think he's gonna have enough flow. He might have enough flow for one, but he's definitely gonna need those water pumps.
Base still doesn't have power, so we need to draw upon our power lines that are from the other base. I'm glad that you can drag these power lines out over to a cliff and then right into a waterfall. Whatever, they'll allow it, so I'll do it. Okay,
sure,
let's see. How are we doing? Water appears to be extracting at a perfectly whatever flow rate, and you can tell it's doing its job by this little thing here because of the things doing things. As you can tell, I totally understand how water works in this game. The important part is that if we come all the way over here and we check the pipes, we can see the water's running all the way here just fine. And if we look at the plant itself, water's all there, uranium's all there. Looks like power is back on the menu. And onward to the other power plants. All right, excellent. I think
so. If he split that water supply to here, it's going to have some major flow issues.
We've done some really fine work here. Let's see if everything connects as planned. Let's start with one initially. Well, it doesn't appear to be any water getting here, at least not yet.
There's a limit to how much you can push through that.
Illogical pipe system isn't working. I mean, if you take a look at our...
I mean, that's part of it, but there's just not going to be enough water.
That's going to be the biggest thing. This one's getting plenty of water, as is this part right here. Oh, wait, the flow sucks. So without really knowing what we're doing, we're going to use this pipeline pump.
Yeah, that is going to help a bit, but you're going to need a lot more water.
Transported 20 meters upwards.
A lot more
great.
Water,
Work your magic. Okay, there we go. Looks like we have more flow coming through this thing, sorta. Water sure is weird. Ah, yes, much better. Full capacity in the pipes. That's what I like to see. Okay, how are we working, you big behemoth? Ah, yes. Burning water too fast and occasionally offline. That's what we call progress. You know what? Why am I trying so hard? After all, this is a pretty large space.
Okay, there we go.
Let's see how many of these can fit. And then
you can put like 20 of them. 20 would work.
And 3 and 4. Okay, that seems better. We have a couple more, quite a bit more. I have no idea how many.
Oh, okay. Let's put 150 to 300 in.
All I know is it's more than I had, and I hope it's enough to siphon up the entire ocean. Now it's time to get to the pipe.
I mean, problem-wise, though, merging them all together is going to cause not flow issues, because that'll work, but it's going to be highly inefficient because you're going to be pulling way too much wire for what your pipes can handle.
Ta-da! Pipes, pipes, and more pipes. I spent a little time building just...
I mean, it works. That's a lot of copper.
A couple of pipe
Sheeting
systems.
them.
Here, let me give you the grand tour. Basically, they start here, and then they extend out here, and then they route over here, and then God only knows where they...
I don't necessarily see them all connecting. It looks like they're all individual pipelines, which makes a bit more sense if you do it that way. Yeah, I don't see major, like, multiple connections in between them.
go next. Pretty much if there's ground to cover, that's where we put...
Yeah, these are all just individual pipe systems, so that's probably a better way of doing it, and then just merging a couple of them at the very end.
pipes. And I do mean anywhere where there's ground.
Jeez, that's a lot. But yeah, no, none of these have splitters anywhere on them that I can tell. Well, I could be missing them in this mess of nonsense.
Undercover. Or if it's cliffs, also now pipes. Heading past this first power plant, that's right, pipes. And we...
Geez, there's so many pipes. Yeah, no. I mean, the big thing for me would be
very comprehensive pipe system. How you doing there,
yeah,
buddy? You having a good time?
They're all
and we
individual
just keep on
pipe
going
systems.
to follow where the pipes go until eventually we make it over where we can see water making it to all of our power.
Now here, I would expect there to be merger points at. There's just random ones that just end. So yeah, my guess is there's some merger points versus where that way you can basically force maximum capacity in all these at once.
Who would have thought pipes were so easy? All you got to do is just have so many running everywhere that eventually everything can connect and have water. And yeah, sure, when these things are producing power, they also produce nuclear byproducts, but that's a solved problem. Everybody wins. And with all these glorious power plants up and working again, so too are our factories. Yeehaw to beautiful, endless manufacturing. Oh, and don't worry, I haven't forgotten about this guy. I know we need to get water up here.
Is he gonna run it through the center? No, I know what he's gonna do. He's gonna clad the entire outside with pipes, isn't he? Which is gonna make it a giant orange tornado. That would be the only thing worse that he could potentially do, and that's the only thing that makes sense.
Too. And I know that seems pretty daunting, but don't you worry, I've got an idea, so hold, please.
Yeah, there's no way that didn't go around the entire outside of it.
And connected. See, that wasn't so hard to get water up here. All I had to do was build a couple of water pipes. A lot of water pipes. A lot of water pipes.
See right here? These are all flow rate lifters. Every single one of them. And there's probably more on the other side. So good to know that you can basically go as high as you want as long as you do specific builds. What's interesting about this is it actually may improve the frame rate because it's hiding a lot of the conveyor belt stuff.
This is what I did. I started with a pipe on the ground, ran it all the way to the start of my conveyor belt tornado, and then just kept building and building and building.
Looks good,
and before
actually.
you know it, fresh water straight from the source. And boy, howdy, is this doing amazing things to the frame rate. I'm just glad that it turned out putting all this pipe down was easy. That said, while I noticed the radiation nightmare is over, oh boy, have I noticed some cursed stuff still happening. You know, I think I know.
That looks pretty normal. Oh, this one says he used drones. We haven't even gotten to the drone part. Jeez, there a lot of stuff happened in this one. Got rid of radiation, killed a bunch of doggos, figured out how pipes worked. Yeah, and I guess we're using drones too in this one.
Granted, I don't want to waste all this beautiful manufacturing prowess or this gross thing, but I think I have an idea to salvage our factory and our frame rate. So let's head back over to Red Base, where we've got our hub. In the hub is where we unlock new milestones. And over here in Tier 7, we have something called aeronautical engineering. And in that, we have something called drones. Transports available input back and forth between its home and destination.
Okay, the drones are actually pretty cool in this game. They can do a lot of useful stuff, primarily because certain factories are just a nightmare to get stuff to. This way you can make small little factories and then just transport stuff to the right factories, which is actually a lot of fun.
I like the sound of that. So in order to unlock these things, we need to amass all of these items, and then we just feed it all into the machine. A big old button appears, which will send this cargo container right here into orbit. But before we do that, I have kind of an idea. Can you take an explosive to outer space for me? Only one way to find out. And launch.
I mean,
okay, have a nice summer.
Yeah. doesn't really do
Oh,
anything.
that does work. Well, nice to see it's completely unaffected. And now, because of our generous contributions, we have...
I would laugh if they added a feature that if you tried to blow up certain things, it just crashed it and you couldn't use it for 25 minutes while it rebuilt.
fun new toys. So for starters, we can't just put a drone down right
Yeah,
here
you
in
need
the
your
sand.
drone
It needs to go in the drone port. Okay, I see how this works. It's like a little carrier thing. Batteries to power the drones go in here, and these are like in and out points for importing and exporting materials. Easy peasy lemon whatever. Couldn't be more
the better
simple.
version of a
Okay,
truck.
yeah, and drones fit right here. Look at that,
trucks
ready
are
to
garbage in this
transport.
game.
Okay, first things first, let's go ahead and connect this thing all the way through our pile of crap. I mean, surely somewhere in here are batteries, right? Wait.
There they
Those
are.
look like batteries to me. Quickly, new conveyor belt, add a splitter, and now take some of those batteries. Now that these are well underway, we're gonna put 2 storage containers, one for the imports and one for the exports. And for stuff to transport, I'm just gonna use copper. Not for any reason, just because I have it. And now we need to configure the drone port. And we're gonna name this first port Sendy Offie. And now let's move a little bit away from this station here and add another drone port over here.
You know, you can send multiple drones to the same port. They just kind of have like a holding pattern type thing.
Here, and we'll set up another container. This one's gonna be just for receiving, and we're gonna name this second port Gimme Goodies. Excellent. And we're gonna set it up so that Sendy Offie.
Although I don't know if the drones, what happens if they run out of battery power. I never tested
He
that.
has a destination port of Gimme Goodies. Oh, and the moment we set this up, look what's happening. Wait, don't leave without me. Let's see where this thing goes.
I didn't even know you could
wow,
stand on
we're
them.
really high up here.
It's
We're
gonna
flying as
throw
high
you
as my
through it.
rail gun even.
Yeah. Okay,
Well,
there
looks like it's going to the destination, and it looks like it's coming in for a nice, smooth landing. Oh, and here comes our supplies. Perfect, that worked like a charm. And then when it's done, it takes off in a perfect pattern to do some sweet air maneuvers before landing in its original pad again, to pick up more supplies before doing it all again. Kind of curious what I can do with this thing.
Now, the downside of what I said earlier is when you want to create like a bunch of them that go to the same location, you can't just like stack different multiple drones on. Each drone needs its own port, which is kind of annoying. And those things take up a lot of space over time. So
Like, I see it doing all these evasive maneuvers,
That's
but
the
like if I
downside.
build foundations and just intentionally
No,
try
it'll
and
just
get in its
clip right
way, is it
through
gonna
it.
know how to deal with this? We're
Nope.
about to find out.
it's right through it. Yep.
Huh, it
does
doesn't
not
care at
care.
all. And then off it goes. Well,
Yep.
that's an interesting first test. If it doesn't care about collision, this gives me an idea. So here's my master plan. We're gonna use those drones to take all these luscious supplies and transfer them to our other non-cursed base. Because after all, we don't want all
Interesting.
these supplies or all this luscious power to go to waste now, do we? Of course
Yeah, we
not.
do.
So one of the things, though, is that these drone ports
Yeah,
actually
take up
take
a
up
ton of
quite a
space.
lot of space. And something tells me it's smart to have at least a couple. But luckily, I think I know a place that's centrally located to all of our
head
stuff
hurts every
that has
time you
virtually
move. You're-
unlimited building space. And I think I know what we can use to help us
The
out.
train
Behold,
underground
my
is
original
still active?
train station. Back when you could make train station names really, 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 really long. Those were
That's the one where he was talking about don't eat a 5-pound bag of Sour Patch Kids.
days. Anyway, we're gonna take a little trip because if you recall, I made a
Okay,
nice
so it
little
still clips through
railway
the
that
ground.
doesn't give a crap about the rules of terrain at all. And now here we are underneath the world where there's so much open space for us to work with. Anyway, look at all that
Smart.
space out there. Let's see if we can
So if you turn these into all drone ports, assuming you can actually build platforms, which I assume you can, then they'll just clip straight through the ground.
Use
yeah,
it.
That'll work. That's a good idea.
First things first, let's make a platform for building on. Yes, perfect for a drone port. Just gotta run some power for it. You know, I'm fairly certain the thing will fly off even if we don't give it any materials, so long as we just tell it where to go. We're gonna tell this to fly to Gimme Goodies. So I think in theory, the moment I
should just
place
go
this
right.
drone down, it should just take off. These sound like promising noises
Yep.
and promising behavior.
Yep.
Bye. Well, there it goes. Halfway across.
Yeah, it's interesting to get those 2 clips. He had to. He basically either had to have 2 players on, or he had to go back and clip those 2 parts
the known
together.
universe all the way to its destination, where it abruptly stops and then appears to maintain a holding pattern along with this other drone, and I have no idea why. It's not because I put the foundations there, right? It's not like you cared about that
No.
before. Well, let's check real fast. Nope, they definitely still don't care. Wait a minute, looks like the power went out on this. Is that why? Let's fix the power and find out. Oh, looks like that was the reason. Now that we got the green, stuff's landing again. Okay, wait, now I have to know. If I leave it red, also known as no power, how many of you can be up here? Let's find out.
I can guess infinite. however much your system can handle.
Shall we? Okay, now we have 4 total. We're gonna make sure to set them all to gimme goodies. Oh boy, and here they go.
Wow, we got a frame rate.
Stay in formation, pilots. What did I say about breaking formation? You might be asking yourself, why didn't I just build these things closer? Because then we couldn't have this amazing journey, and we wouldn't be able to see this glorious drone ballet. Okay, here they come. Let's see what happens.
Were you on top of another drone? I don't know how that part worked.
Well, I think we know what needs to happen next, don't we? Is there a limit to this?
No.
Only one way to find out.
Yeah, there's basically no limit. You can basically go on forever, but they're just gonna sit there and do nothing.
Okay, so I've been at this for a little while now. I've built a couple of drones. The foggy view distance here stops you from seeing all that I've made, but let me tell you, there's a lot of drones here.
Yeah,
in total, there's 384 drones here, quietly spread out underneath our base. And for each and every one of these, they're all set to go to gimme goodies. All right, so let's turn on the power.
Oh
boy, here goes nothing.
Best part is these things use a lot of energy, which will get him closer to that 100 million. Was it 100 million megawatts or whatever that his power company, his power supply is generating? And way better than the trains.
Oh my God. Up and off they go. Off at 2 frames a second to seek fame and fortune on their pilgrimage to the sacred gimme goodies.
Jumping on someone else's server to see this would be like insanity.
What I did back at the base too, just to add some fun, is I added a bunch of explosives to things. Not sure how that works, but I'm not gonna question it. You know, so we can get that real feeling like they're trying to be shot down.
Okay, that's actually pretty good.
Serpentine, serpentine. And before you know it, here they are coming in to join the queue. Higher and higher and higher. Oh my God, what are we looking at? This is actually really pretty. Huh, you know what? I guess there really isn't a limit. It looks like this really can just keep going forever. I mean, seriously, look how high this goes. There's my cannon.
I mean, there's definitely a limit, and it's the limit of what your computer can handle effectively before the game's memory, because at some point it's gonna run out.
There's the drones, and here's how much high.
Even with their new update, which is they changed how textures are rendered in sections. And clusters, but even then, there's still an upper limit just based off of frame rate rendering.
There they go. And boy, is it going to be a long queue to land at this station.
Yeah, because you have no items.
Down, an eternity of drones left to go. You know, let's just use more traditional means to get our stuff from the other base. But let's tackle that next time.
Just conveyor belts
did I
for
mention
you, buddy.
That I stream? I do. Link is in the description. You should
Streaming
check it
from Let's
out.
Game It Out sounds like a nightmare.
I know I did. And I'll see you next time. Hey there, it's Josh. Welcome back.
Wow, that was something. Go subscribe to his channel. That was great. And we'll check out the last video relatively soon. All right, have a good day, everyone.